game number 1, 2 series today, and we've got a very familiar face. Bowie, I'm already cynical about Unknown's chances. They first picked the freaking Tiny. Oh, God.
By the way, our friend Broodmother is open, all right? We saw that ban a couple of times. I'm always a little scared when I don't see Brood banned.
True.
Yeah.
Also, these voice lines from the Team Companions, they're kind of annoying, right? Because I don't feel like they're loud enough.
Like the first game after, basically, it was brutal.
Like,
Winter Wyvern Mars.
Did we lose Bowie? Oh, we lost Bowie. We lost Bowie.
Uh-oh.
He's off.
Well, that's
he must have got that new. Is there a new update, guys?
Steve has conquered yet another South American soul. He's like Shang Tsung, man.
He went after the voice lines, dude, and they got him good.
They turned down his bandwidth. Poor guy. Well, hopefully Bowie makes it back.
Oh, hey, Bowie.
Look at that.
That's what you get for talking shit about the voice lines.
This everything. I don't think it was late. I think it was just on time. Thank you.
5 seconds remaining.
Thank you,
well,
David.
We've got the ABBA here. That's nice.
All right.
We like this hero. Trent, talk to me
Yes.
about this first pick, Tiny, though. Am I too hard on this?
I don't know, man. It's not my cup of tea. I feel like there's more consistent and better heroes, but if you're a good Tiny player and you really feel like it's worth it for your position 4 and your mid, then you just do it. Confidence matters a lot. I was a Tiny spammer once. It's probably the only hero I ever spammed, and it did feel really good playing it constantly, and you do get a good feel for the hero, and it's nice to have so much control in your own hands with the initiations, but he is high risk.
Yeah.
If you screw up that initiation, you can botch the entire team fight.
I mean, I do have an argument for a Rock Boy here. If you actually look at the known stats, this is the only hero, I guess, alongside a Baton that they have a 100% win rate with, and at the same time, it is the second most picked hero. Actually, the most picked hero is NoPing. So I think there's some merit to this pick, especially when they had to ban the Viper. We already talked about this. It feels so oppressive when Panda is playing that. You really limit the heroes that you can pick because of that break. So I think this is looking okay.
That's a good point.
Deny pick. Yeah, that's fair.
All right. I actually thought, Zyra, you were going to ask me about the Wyvern. Because I'm less in on the Wyvern. I don't know why you wouldn't just pick Warlock. I don't know.
10 seconds
I
remaining.
feel like
Interesting.
Warlock's just better in every way and combos really well with the arena.
5 seconds remaining.
And he's
Interesting.
really tanky. And Cold Embrace doesn't do anything versus Tiny.
Radiant team back.
It does seem like over the 5 weeks we've had of this league to collect data that Winter Wyvern's a hero we've hyped up and we wanted to see, and the more we've seen her, the less we've been excited to see her. Every performance just seems a bit lackluster, and it's just so hard to... You're the 5s, you never really get items, you never really get the opportunities to get those big ultimates. When you do, it feels really rare and unreliable. I don't know.
10 seconds
It feels like a tough hero.
Yeah, but ABBA, though. Now that's a hero. That's a game-winning
5
hero.
seconds remaining.
It always looks really good. I do like the Mars response. Actually, not a response. I don't really like a Baton into Mars just because, especially if you're the support, the arena range usually is bigger than the cast range of all of the spells. So I do feel like it's somewhat of a counter, especially when the Baton can get stuck outside of it. But in lane, it's always going to be that really strong. It's like in a Warlock that trades a little better, but you do lose that, Golem and the late game aspect of Warlock in exchange.
He's basically just Undying in a good patch.
Yes.
I like...
Undying that pushes and gets Roche.
Exactly. So, just better.
Dire team
Oh,
There's Rubik.
Wow. All right. We want ABBA too.
Radiant
Steal the
team
Aphotic Shield all the time.
Snap pick Lesh feels pretty good there. Another hero that I think pretty much every time we've seen it now, it doesn't really have a bad game, right? It doesn't always win games, but it's an exceptionally good laner, flexible across the 2 and the 3. pushes well, big burst damage,
10
combos,
seconds
stuns.
remaining.
The shard is a bit of a meme, but we even saw a game where that came in handy.
5
I'm pretty high on the Lesh
seconds
train right now,
It was
boys.
beaming with confidence too.
Yep.
I mean, as you said, snap, pick. They know what they want, and they're just going for it. I feel like this might end up being the 3 Lesh with the tiny 4 at this point, but they're 9th pick, so very likely that it ends up being a flex between the 2 lanes.
As always. Now, NoPing here. What are the HFN heroes available? The NP and the TA are all up. I think this Lash also does deal a little bit with the TA, so maybe they're a little bit less inclined to go for that.
Thinking about it now, though.
Tough
this is
which
the
role to
big
pick.
reveal.
Yeah. Do you want the flex of the Mars to
Dire
remain?
team pick.
Admiral Kung.
No.
Okay.
Okay. They just want
So
HFN
they save
0.
the HFN, yeah. Now this is risky though because this gives Unknown more opportunities to ban and target exactly what they don't want in the hands of HFN. Obviously, Medusa banned out. What else have we seen him play? The Nature's Prophet. That was another big
10
one, right?
seconds
Yeah.
Yeah, he played a lot of Luna in season 1, but I don't think.
yeah.
And
we-
Naga too. I think he played once.
remaining.
Yeah. I'm going to be honest with you guys. If I was Unknown, I would pick heroes that are good versus TA, and I would ban these other heroes. Because, like, I got a lot of hate for saying that I didn't believe in HFN TA, and I
Wow.
do feel like he plays it well. But there's a reason. Oh, I really like this, actually. I don't like Luna picks in general, but they are denying a pick, and this allows them to deny 2 extra picks now. I wonder if they're
Yeah.
going to take the NP here.
Oh,
But-
man.
Yeah, I just feel like TA, can be good, but there's a reason people are not first phasing carry TA, I
see what
really
you
feel
mean.
like it's the weak link on the side of NoPing. Out of all
I
HFN
think-
heroes, it's probably the least one
5
likely to
seconds
succeed.
It feels like when he plays it's not necessarily
Dire
like,
team
wow,
back.
TA did this thing. It's like she just played similar to Nature's Prophet in the safe lane. You guys broke the game open, and then she snowballed. It's more of a flex when you can outskill your safe lane,
Yeah.
maybe, than it is necessarily like all things equal, even skill. I don't think NoPing's beaten secret with this safe lane TA.
I think
you
he
know?
should just pick Lifestealer.
Looks really good.
Honestly.
That would be a change for HFN, but
He
I'll
might
give-
Juggernaut. That also
Oh,
looks pretty
true.
damn solid.
I think either of those heroes being left is a bit of a problem here. Like, it's cool that you're banning all these HFN heroes, but at the end of the day, I'm sure the guy can just play some real basic, I feel like gaining some MMR today heroes.
And if you can play TA, you can play Jug. Is that
Exactly. I actually would prefer the Jug ban over like everything we talked about. Oh, they take the Spectre though.
That's pretty good. They have a lot of setup between like the Mars and the Kunkka and even the Wyvern. Kind of like IO relocates with curses randomly on the map. Now here's the question: what beats Mars and Kunkka in mid?
Viper?
Exactly. First phase ban.
I guess. I
I mean, you
think...
could DK. He doesn't beat them,
5
but he's
seconds
fine and
remaining.
kind of synergizes with their tempo.
I think
I
the
like
Death
DK
Prophet's the
actually.
best ban because they just need a little bit more like oomph to like try and get off the ground fast. And there it is.
ninth pick Zyori
He's
is
back.
in the house. he's finally warmed up here in week 5. Man, I like the way Unknown draft though. Look at this. All that reserve time, they put the pressure on. NoPing with only 25 seconds left. A situation where I kind of like the fast drafting, at least at the end.
And they went for the full anime style, just missing Morana.
True. Yeah, DK Luna.
Carry Murana now for NoPing? Let's go.
Only choice.
Now, do they just profit? I think that's the real question. Nature's Prophet still stands out to me, aside from the Jug Lifestealer. If we're talking, what does HFN want to play?
I want
the
the
DK was
hero.
really smart because he definitely deals with the Lifestealer Jug.
How
now
do
it's
Glaives
a
work
question.
versus Arc Warden? I feel like
if
he's
you
probably an
miss
Arc
the
Warden
first
player.
one, if you miss the first one, all the other ones are not going to do damage.
Ooh, spicy.
I speak.
Oh,
It's the
wow,
Prophet.
guys.
Select your heroes.
I won't even take credit for that one. That was as predictable as it gets. HFN, small hero pool.
Mhm.
Roll the dice. Who's not banned? There you go.
Talk about exuding confidence. I don't know. This doesn't look like a great Prophet game. I feel like I see a lot of heroes where I'd be a little bit scared going into. But, I mean, that's Nature's Prophet. He's a blank canvas. You can do so many different things. It's the whole power of the hero.
Remember the one, Trent. We've had this discussion, buddy. It's different from the old 3. Get those Bulldog memories out of your head. It's a new Prophet. It's a new era. The position 1.
Yeah, I mean, I like
I know,
it actually.
but
It's good versus
don't you
range
understand the
offlaners.
issue?
I know, but it's still bad.
No, I mean, it's good in lane. It's really good versus range offlaners. Tiny has no armor, so like DNP can play very oppressively with the slows from the Wyvern. It does get a little scary when this DK has a blink though. So I wonder how he's gonna itemize, if he's just gonna go for the Witchblade into BKB, or if he's gonna try and squeeze an Orc or a Maelstrom. I think it's that's really gonna showcase how the mid game's gonna unfold. But I like a nose draft even with the Luna. I think, you know, it's kind of like PA. I shit talked PA so much, then starts winning games again, and the DK was really nice. They have a lot of push. They have good lanes. I know Unknown is not their favorite, but I prefer their draft.
Roles reversed, I would definitely favor NoPing, but I think this is also comfort zone for NoPing. So even though it looks weird on paper, it's kind of what they wanted. So they did try to draft to their strengths, and generally I'd call that a winning strategy. I'm going to barely favor NoPing.
Server
what
edge,
is
though?
the server?
It's Peru.
Oh, it's
Game
Peru.
one.
There you go,
Yes.
game one.
So that helps. But, I mean, they don't really have ping problem heroes. Other than Mars has had some issues, so we'll hope it's no ping for Oscar at the very least.
Yeah.
Personally, I feel like they're just going to get off the ground way too fast with this Nature's Prophet. It's a nice pick for that, and it's risky because you need the early kills and the tower pushes, but, I mean, this is no ping. We've seen them do it, and I feel like they're going to end up being like 9 kills up at like 15 minutes.
All right. Well, let's
Bold
see if the
words.
prediction comes true here. Bold words indeed. We've got Gary and Theban back again. Gary, how are we? A day off? Are we fresh? Are we bright? Are we ready for game one?
We absolutely are. Yeah, here we are. Game one of this best of 3, ready to crack on. Now, I'm also a pretty big... Hello?
Gerber?
Hello?
Can't
Why
hear
can't
you,
you hear
Gerber.
me?
Okay, well,
Test.
I don't know if you guys can hear Gary, or maybe I'm just
Interesting.
talking over him.
They can hear me in production. Can you hear me now?
Yes, there we go.
That's real strange. Discord just had... Yeah, I just had to close and open Discord again. Apparently, it wasn't wanting to pick up my microphone. Right, here we are. Game one, Theban. I'm a pretty big fan of this unknown draft, like the panel was saying, especially the fact that with Abaddon, they've got pushing heroes. They could control the map from a pretty early phase,
30
but
seconds to
Theban,
battle.
NoPing, they are the superior team so far as we've seen, aren't they?
Oh, definitely. I do feel Unknown. They do got the solid draft, but they got to get the lane wins in order to be able to execute this kind of heroes. You got Dragon Knight, Leshak, they can take towers, but if you fall behind in lanes, every time you go to a tower, you might just get X-marked or arena'd and just killed off. You might just be setting up ganks for NoPing.
Yeah, I mean, there's so much catch, but also like displacement abilities, right? Telekinesis, Spear, the X mark. You're dragging these heroes around and extending team fights, which is always going to be handy when you've got a Prophet on your team who could be, you know, out on the map, split pushing, then come into the fight a little bit later on. Bounty runes 2 for 2. Pretty solid start. Also a D ward for Teemo as he removes
Indeed.
an early observer ward out there.
Yeah, I don't know. He's like, let me last hit that ward. I need the last hit practice here. Even
Give me
though
money.
he won't get the gold, even if he does get the last hit. It's the person who bought the sentry who gets the gold.
True, true. He's going to be laning up with that Abaddon in the top spot. Oscar and
Yeah,
Matthew, the Mars and Rubik. And Abaddon, he's going for
this-
shield level 1.
Yeah, shield again. No orb of venom. He's gonna be bringing it out. Like, I prefer they just buy more tangles and then bring out the stick and the salve, right? But here it is. Got the shield. Just running in. Trying to do some damage to both these heroes. I do feel like Mars and Rubik at some point will be able to kill the Abaddon, where Luna and Abaddon aren't gonna have too much kill threat onto the Rubik here, especially with his boot star.
It's that wait for level 2 moment, and you know, down in this bottom lane there's been a lot of trading going on. HFN was actually playing ahead of the lane for a bit, just right-clicking into Sacred, while Widge was battling with the Wyvern behind the lane, kind of role reverse positioning. So far, last hit-wise, neither side doing particularly well, because it has been that continual fight, and HFN is going to be avalanched here. Lashrak with a Lightning Storm
lightning.
claims up first blood.
Yeah, I mean, that's very nice. And Pandaboo now going to have to just solve himself and wait for HFN to return. They're off to a great start bottom. Plus, they had that pull camp available to get the lane back. Tiny just going to clarity up and do that on the next creep wave. HFN better be on top of things and stop that from happening, or else they're going to be losing a lot of XP and the lane positioning.
They sure are, especially when you're relying on this Wyvern with a... Oh, is he going to slip away? Yeah, gets out of there. And now Abaddon does have his Avernus plus that Orb of Venom under tower, though.
Oh, that's silence.
SHCCD is going for Oscar. They'll take him down. Abaddon gladly trades his life for the position 3.
Yeah, Matthew's like, sorry, buddy, but not really, because now I get all this creep wave XP, gold, and Abaddon kill. Oh, Matthew's gonna feel really good this game as a Rubik. Not so much Oscar, though.
Yeah, much more rough for him. What was it, like double range creep, wave and a half there. He will return for a little bit more. Down in that bottom lane, we saw Widge actually chasing Panda Boo, and again, you're forcing this Arctic Burn to be kind of used defensively, rather than that offensive harassment into Sacred. So Widge is able to really keep a great control of that lane. Now, Theben, we've done the same thing again. Side lanes for 3 minutes. Please.
Yeah.
What's the story of mid?
Well, mid is like probably the most boring lane you will ever watch. It's a Dragon Knight there against another melee hero. Kunkka, you know, he's not going to be doing too much against the DK. They're just both trading farm. Dark Mago, he even farmed a small camp here. RoboZ, because he's got that Breathe Fire, the damage reduction. Dark Mago's having a little bit tougher of a time contesting for the creeps. There's 69s on the DK already. But we will see Kunkka.
Down bottom.
What's going on?
Panda Boo. Tagged by the Lightning Storm. They don't have any more mana on Sacred's Leshrac, though. They'll need this Avalanche to finish him
they
off.
got Avalanche,
they're just going to punch him anyway.
They can just go for HFN too. That's 15 seconds the Wyvern's dead for.
Yeah, Tiny with the boots could get on top of him, but it looks like the bottle needs to be refilled by Sacred, knowing there's a bounty rune back there. So far, so good for Unknown. All 3 lanes looking pretty solid in terms of how they're controlling them and applying pressure. You know, the CS board might not necessarily reflect that, with, you know, Prophet having 11 denies. Now Oscar's got 8 plus his 12 CS. And NoPing definitely out farming rather than getting these kills and out maneuvering. Sacred's going to get gone on bottom again. Just an Arctic Burn and a Splinter Blast. There's no Sprout or anything there. No body blocks. Couldn't get the treants in front of the Lash.
Yeah, this lane is going to settle down a bit now with the HFN just getting his resources back, denying all the creeps. Sacred does have a lot of experience, though. I feel like they're not going to be able to get any kills themselves on this Tiny and Lesh. So just try to play for the pulls on Panda Boo. Get your Nature's Prophet to 6 as soon as you can so you have that kill threat on the map.
And your main plan is going to be to try and force this Luna out of lane at some point.
Yeah.
Once you get to, what, like 5-6 minutes in maybe, you might get a little bit scared there. Then you can think about bringing the Prophet, getting into that tier 1, open up the map for yourselves up top. And bottom lane, you just leave it alone for a bit.
Speaking of Luna, she's not really farming that well. Only 18 last hits in this lane. You would think with all the pressure Abaddon is able to put on these 2 heroes by running at them, she would be able to free farm, but only
especially with the kills they've had.
Not a lot.
They're making up for a little bit. Oh, they can't find Matthew, though. Don't have the vision over him for another Lucent Beam. But yeah, it's moments like that where, you know, Luna's missing out on a couple of CS under tower. They're going and chasing.
Yeah.
Radiant's courier.
Dark Mago's
Dark
also
Mago.
being pressured really hard right now. This is... I think what they have to do is as soon as the Ghost Ship comes online and RoboZ Dragon Knight is popped his dragon form, you got to bring everybody middle. Like Wyvern, Rubik, even the Nature's Prophet just teleporting in. You have a TP to go back to bottom lane anyway. You got to get rid of this Dragon Knight's dragon form right away. Because he's able to pressure up. Yeah, with this catapult too, he's going to be able to do a lot of pressure.
Exactly. Like he's keeping it alive long enough for that additional wave to come in, getting a few hits on the tower at the same time. And they do bring Rubik to try and defend here with Dark Mago's Kunkka, but missing out a little blind torrent, means they can't really open up on it. But Matthew will be able to scout out Widge's rotation into mid. Can't guard the rune bot, and DK has it open to him top. So again, that kind of macro play from Unknown seeming like it's much smoother in the opening stages of this game. Avalanche in. Dark Mago, he can't get off his spells and he's chain stunned. What's the save position? No, Rubik can't do it. So now Matthew in another position where he's going to be leeching up some experience and just try to hold out for any push that is coming.
Yeah, this is not what I would have expected, especially with Dragon Form going down. The supports of Unknown being the ones rotating mid. Like, especially in Abba, like you don't expect Abaddon to rotate when he's just level 3. But they make it happen. They get the kill onto the Kunkka. Only thing going for them right now is that Ghost Ship. He didn't use it before he died.
So now he can move into one of the side lanes if he wants to, and he will TP top. Oscar is halfway through level 5, so he doesn't have that arena just yet. But this is the move that we were talking about force Luna out of the lane, try and converge a few heroes up here as well. Maybe you get a core kill, but in particular, you look for that bit of chip damage on the tier 1.
Bottom.
There's also a bit of a scrap bottom. Yeah, the toss back in towards the Lash. The two-man avalanche split up. Sacred and Witch set up for a beautiful combo, executing onto that bot lane.
We just destroyed that fight, just making that nice toss onto the stun, and Sacred just hitting level 6 so soon. Dark Magma, he's
up
trying to
top.
steal the stack.
And trying to kill off the Abaddon as well, but yeah, not to be. Oscar has hit level 6. Arena at the ready. Oh, it's nighttime though. Luna sees him coming. Can't get the catch on her. It's just going to be the freebie Abaddon maybe? Or is it so free
missed
when you
it.
miss your spear? Torrent needs to land. They've got the lift up. That will take him down. There is still an Invis DK though. How many? That's all 5 from NoPing into that mid lane.
Yeah, it is. And I think Unknown, they don't really want to lose this tower this early. You are afraid of the arena, but someone's gonna have to eat the arena here. If you want to defend this tower. Oh man, they're just gonna lose it.
It's just dropping.
Wow.
They've got no
Okay.
glyph. Lash and Tiny don't make the move, and Luna doesn't want to be involved. So mid tower down,
Okay.
8 minutes in, and now you. Wow, that's real interesting situation to be in, because yeah, HFN now TP's top, so that's his lane, while the rest of them, they can start roaming around with him. Wait, Mars ulti is still up, right? Is that threat? They will avalanche toss. Oscar now dragon-tailed. He's got brace, a soul ring, and a chainmail, so he actually gets the
Robo
ring
Z.
down onto Robo Z, spears him, and this is the gank squad. They got Dark Mago, Arcane Runed up, Torrent, and a good lift to stop any kind of shield or heal from the Abaddon, so they can turn onto the secondary target. It was a pretty farmed Sacred Lash coming in, so they are afraid of that magical damage from him. Not overextending, but they spotted the Luna. Oh, that Torrent not quite on the mark though.
Just gonna let her run away. I mean, that's crazy how NoPing were just able to go mid with 5 heroes and just brute force that tower. You would see in other regions, when that tower gets attacked like that, people would just start throwing bodies into the objective, just making sure that you can try to delay it. You know, if NoPing have to spend all their heroes to kill one guy, then the tower can possibly survive, and it would be worth it. But RoboZ, look at him. He feels so sad. He's just sitting mid in the river. He wants to push his lane out and pressure the mid tower, but he's so scared. No one can back him up by TPing to the mid tier 1 because it's gone.
So what do you reckon the reasoning for this is? Like, do you think Lashrak and Tiny are saying, we're having such a good game, we just want to play bottom?
Yeah.
Or
I think they see 5 heroes and they were just too scared, but you got to get beyond that psychology. You got to understand how important that mid tower really is to your gameplay. Like, just watch RoboZ for the last minute, how he's been able to move, like what he's doing, moving around. He can't do anything. He's just trying to drag some creeps. Hopefully the Leshak will be able to take bottom and be able to carry them through the mid game here. RoboZ feels a little bit stuck. He doesn't really have a lane that he can go to anymore.
yeah, he's dragging creep waves up towards his triangle. Well, with bottom tier 1 down, it does mean that Luna's going to get a nice portion of the map to farm through herself, with a Mask of Madness now picked up. We've seen how quickly she can rip through these creep camps. But mid lane's going to be that real hotly contested point on the map. Yeah, they're pinging it out now. I can only expect NoPing to, again, bring the numbers. Wyvern has the tome coming, so he's going to be level 6 when they make this move too.
Yeah, you got to balance the map out here. Just taking the tier 1 back, and Leshak, you know, he wants to go in here. He wants to get the edict going, but the arena is here in this fight.
There. And they've also got the catch on DK, and that Abaddon speared up. Good avalanche. Split Earth not quite landing, and now Lashrak stuck inside. Down goes the Abaddon, the Eclipse bursting through the Mars, but a great boat crashing into the arena onto both that Tiny and the Lesh. We're just going to drop to the Kunkka Dark Mago, pretty speedy, and he's going to get another X mark onto Robo Z. That's the Dragon form. That's going to be wasted. While HFN, he just joins the fight. That's what we were talking about before. 4 heroes from NoPing that can start, crack on with things, get a couple of kills, and HFN, he can try and lap up the remainder.
Got another X.
It is a tanky DK, and yeah, that good Dragon Tail stops that additional X mark from coming. Still, defense of the tier 1. Good strong team fight from NoPing.
That's how you do it before they even show up. Just get in there. Mars, you know, he got the nice spear onto the Abaddon. It wasn't a combo off the arena, but he just drops the arena, so all those heroes are stuck in there. Kunkka, Rubik, you know, the Wyvern, they got so many spells from long range. They can just toss into the arena, and the heroes will just naturally die. They actually didn't have to do anything else. They didn't even hard commit to the fight, apart from Oscar, who just had to sacrifice himself for the greater good.
Do you think Unknown want to go round 2? Like, do you keep banging your heads against that mid-tier 1?
What else do you do? You can stay
That's-
back and farm your dagger, but the way that you want to take the mid is by smoking with the dagger DK. So he's almost got that. And if you can get a kill off the dagger, like on the Wyvern or the Rubik, they're both great kills, then you can easily take that tower, especially with the Edict maxed out.
Seeds of fortune.
So be a little more surreptitious with your movements. Don't be so brute forced. Try and get a catch on someone. Oscar's going to evade that kind of gank by TPing away from bottom lane. And I guess no matter what you do as Unknown, you do have that Luna continually free farming. We've seen what she can get up to. Top of the net worth still. But it looks like smoke time for NoPing. I don't think that was caught by the dire vision. Might have been on the very edge. They're not going to find anyone in that top jungle, though. So it feels like Unknown very well aware of this kind of NoPing movement. Even going to smoke themselves to go and try and plant themselves around that mid-tier 1. Just like you called for. And they're going to walk into each other.
Dragon farm.
Oh, there's the jump. Dragon form, stun. That's onto a Mars yet again, though. And the turnaround towards the DK. Good toss back away from the boat, but it'll take down Tiny. Flash Rank, Split Earth, but the Winter's Curse. Sacred's in an awful lot of trouble there. He's been burst. Kunka towards this DK and Abaddon. They're trapped inside the arena for such a long time, and it's turned from a 4v4 into a
Euphonic shield.
5v2. The shield is sure going to save Robo Z,
Rubik's
but
got it.
you're losing 3 heroes out of there.
Yep, and Matthew got the Aphotic Shield too, so he's just going to keep
Nice.
using that every single time the Dragon Tail comes out. And Unknown at this point must feel completely countered. Every single play they've made in the last 3 minutes has amounted to nothing. You got Teemo, he's farming. He's going to get a Sanjin Yasha, but it feels like he's long ways away before he can fight. He needs that BKB first, and even with the BKB, he might not be able to do enough damage.
That Lunar effect. Yeah, just like HFN being able to split push these waves, and you know he's not that far behind the Luna. Honestly, 300 net worth is literally nothing in this 1-to-1 carry comparison.
Yeah.
And he just TP straight into the fight. Well, Luna's
HFN has more value in these team fights as well, where Luna's net worth is kind of just in her items that allow her to farm fast. HFN
for the
needs
moment,
build
dead
these
weight.
items that let her fight. Yeah, exactly. Dead weight.
Well, good little defensive move by Sacred, not wanting to push out that one additional wave, which can be so tempting. But under Radiant Vision, he could get caught if he moves any closer to that high ground ramp. And both Dark Margot and Oscar, they're looking for him. Or Sacred. He stepped a little bit too far forward there, my son. Torrent not going to catch him. Oscar's going to give up, doesn't want to chuck the arena down. And now Witch plants his
It would
body
be
in front
really
of the tower.
bad if there was an Abaddon TPing in there and just shielding the Leshrac and Mech and 21 charges, turning that fight around. So NoPing, they understand that play is just to force TPs, but they're not really looking to dive and fight under the tier 2 tower of the enemy. Be a huge mistake on their end if they were to do that.
Yeah, and they accomplished just that, right? 4 dire heroes all up in that top area of the map. Well, NoPing
So
could start
if you're
sweeping
Unknown
through their
right
own
now,
jungle.
you kind of just have to get through this part of the game where Luna just wants to farm. She needs to get 2 more items. And if you can get to that point without feeding away too many kills, I do think Unknown are going to be in a decent position in this game. That being said, NoPing understand their strength, and that's right now. And they're just like, look at them, taking the ancient stacks. Luna doesn't have that. Feels bad. She just ran all the way from bottom big camp back to her base. She can't even TP top because her team is already there farming that side of the map.
Yeah,
Doesn't feel too good for Teemo right now.
Radiant's top tower is under
And
Another
guess who's
factor
taking
is-
over the Luna now?
Yes, that's the HFN Prophet. Faking out a TP top.
Radiant's top tower has
I
fallen.
guess another element here for Unknown, that Widge Blink Dagger on Tiny. He's going to have it after that creep wave. 70 gold away from it. But that's another very important piece of their draft, having the double jump from him and DK. Because if they're able to like toss back the Prophet, he, of course, doesn't have BKB, neither does the Kunkka. Could actually look to take team fights if they have that vision and get the jump.
Structures are fortified.
They're pinging out mid-tier 1 again. Okay, go on. Have another try. Radiant has Glyph this time, though.
Oh, this is gonna be much better because the Mars TP is on cooldown right now. He's not gonna be able to come to this fight. That's a 100% guaranteed tower take here. Sacred's gonna pop the Edict, sit in the trees. That's that. Mars is also showing bottom at the same time, so Unknown, not afraid one bit.
Oh, Kunkka. An illusion out in front. X-Mark Torrent. Abaddon's forced to borrow time, and the DK jumps straight onto that Winter Wyvern with the Eclipse going. Pandaboo curses out onto Robo-Z and survives through the burst. They toss Luna in. Forced to fight the Dragon Knight as a boat comes crashing in towards them. The X-Mark drags him back. Robo-Z's about to pop. And they've got the Arena Spear. Oscar's backstabbed, but the DK's still alive somehow. He's been shielded and healed. Dark Mago needs to clear them up. HFN and Matthew will. Beautifully done as the Tiny trapped inside the Sprout and Robo-Z's dragged back in again. The Luna is starting to output some serious damage, but Dark Mago with the armlet toggles, he survives, and Teemo's been turned on. A triple for HFN, X-Mark again, Robo-Z stuck here, and it's going to be a 5-man wipe through as NoPing destroy them.
Oh, wow. They got so baited, especially with that Tiny tossing the Luna in. Like, okay, this fight starts with the Abaddon getting jumped. He pops his ulti. Everything looks good so far. They get the Wyvern. You know, you think you're going to kill him, but the Bolt buff comes out. And this is where the game gets so hard for Unknown. The Luna thinks this Wyvern is going to die. She chases him the whole entire time while his team in the backlines are just getting chopped up by this Kunkka. The Nature's Prophet completely untouched. Where's your carry? She's chasing a position 5 Winter Wyvern. Doesn't even kill her. And there it is. You know, they get the 1 kill onto the Mars, which is nice with the armlet toggles. And HFN, the whole fight, completely untouched, Gary. Completely untouched. This 11,000 net worth hero, just destroying. Must have done like 10k damage in that last fight or something.
Yeah, it's bonkers. Like Maelstrom plus Witchblade. Now he's going to go back into the BKB, so that's going to allow him to do the exact same thing with impunity in the next team fight.
Yeah, and they don't have any BKB lockdowns either. So who's the one that's going to deal with HFN? If you can't get the stun on him from the start of the fight before he pops the BKB, remove majority of his health, you're really not going to be able to fight anymore on Unknown.
Dire's top tower is under
Yeah, and Luna's not in that position. Now second in net worth by a pretty good margin. There is the comparison. Pretty big Nature's Prophet going up against this Luna, and it looks like NoPing want to push this advantage even further.
They saw the smoke though under the ward. There was a dire vision there that spots the smoke, and you can see Unknown. They're trying to walk towards this high ground on the bottom side. They're like, guys, come here. Let's sit right here. Let's wait for them.
Abaddon's not even killing off the sentry.
Yep, he's
Trying to
baiting
bait
this.
them in. Smoke broken. He pops his pipe, walks up the staircase. Abaddon in a very sneaky position. They know there's high ground vision here. Dragon Knight jumps to the low ground. They want Pandaboo, but he's already got off that gold embrace. Now an arena in with HFN's BKB. They're onto Sacred. The big magic damage dealer is down. A DD for Dark Mago is going to rip them apart as well. The Dragon Knight, he jumped to that low ground and he was stranded there. They'll buy back on the Wyvern, wanting to continue this fight because HFN is getting focused for the shields. The shields from Matthew and the cold embrace with a buyback. Pandaboo and Matthew save HFN. He can now continue fighting. They've destroyed Teemo, and another devastating team fight as NoPing. They take this game by the scruff of the neck. My God, Dark Mago with an ultra kill, but Matthew and Pandaboo, the real saviors of that fight.
That initial jump, Gary, was so tough for Unknown. Pandaboo just using the Arctic Break, getting on the high ground here. And look at Dragon Knight where he blinked. He blinked to the low ground, so he couldn't get that Dragon Tail right away. And now he got the third skill off, just cold embracing, healing, sitting in the middle of the fight. HFN just BKB'd, being able to right click into this. You know, Rubik gets the Aphotic Shield, and that's it. You can't really kill anyone anymore. You got the cold embrace and the Aphotic Shield to back you up. It's like Rubik is just a better Abaddon at this point.
He is. And now they're into Roshan. They baited them to go top. HFN nearly, I don't want to say nearly died, but he's calculating it. He looked like he was a dead hero up top. And he just draws their attention there away from the Roche pit. While the rest of his squad move in. Prada's going to get sprouted, lifted and torrented. All of the spells thrown on him, borrowed time, but that telekinesis and X-Mark is going to delay to allow them to pick off the position 5.
Yeah, he delayed by a solid 0.2 seconds there before they could go back out onto the map and do what they wanted on NoPing. Man, I think Unknown this game, they had a good grasp in the early game through the laning stage, but their movements have been a little shaky, plus their initiations onto heroes and just being able to finish them off has been really off for Unknown. Just a little too rushed, I would say.
Yeah, it's not being crisp by any means. That was them playing around their vision as well. This kind of triangular vision around that bottom jungle area. And like you said, they saw the smoke get popped out. Oh, Tiny. He went in for that arcane rune. Combo out from Dark Mago. TP in from HFN. And this Kunkka, 8-1 and 10. Keeps his streak going. And I guess he's got Halberd coming. No, he's actually gone Sanjin to BKB.
I like it. I like that a lot. I mean, he's got all the strength items first. Extremely tanky hero, plus the Winter's Curse. Sorry, the Winter Wyvern's Cold Embrace is going to be healing him for a lot. And if you see on the other map here, Gary, Teemo is just still farming. Went for a Dragonlance first. And that BKB is still delayed. Needs another 2,000 gold. And that's NoPing, who have 2 more minutes, essentially, of whatever they want to do on the map without Unknown contesting them.
So is the Dragonlance in response to Luna playing against the Prophet? Oh god, Prophet just TP straight onto this Abaddon. Sprout to stop that borrowed time from getting too much use. And a Winter's Curse required, though, to stop his TP. We'll be able to take him down eventually.
I mean, to answer your question, I think this Dragonlance was just a greedy option from Teemo. He eventually does want a Pike, but if you go Mask of Madness, Sanjin Yasha, and then you...
And Teemo. Spear not getting there in time. But yeah, you're right. All of these kind of incremental build-up items, you need that BKB just to win a team fight, to try and cement your position in the game. I'll get it eventually. He's a recipe away from it. It's just whether or not that eventually is when this NoPing side are in your base, ripping your tier 3s to shreds. So they're going for tier 2 bottom now, and like you mentioned, 2 minutes with Aegis still in the hands of HFN, who's out there on the map, shoving waves and split pushing. Doesn't really have a fear in the world. And yeah, he's got a DD rune to grab down bottom spot too. That looks like a high ground push to me. Kunkka's already up there. That toss back stopped by the telekinesis. And he'll be extracted into the torrent. Widge looking like a pretty free kill. Oh, they're not going to chase him.
That was a huge missed opportunity there from Unknown. The moment the Kunkka just walks in to stun like that, I mean, right-click the tower, you just got to toss him back.
BKB force from Robo-Z, but he's just dying through it. Look at HFN with this DD rune. Brings down Sacred. Abaddon's forced to borrow time within a matter of seconds of arriving. Tiny could look for this avalanche toss. Good Lucent Beam. Matthew yet again coming through clutch. Lucent Beam plus the telekinesis stops the Tiny from making any kind of maneuvers, and they ball back on Sacred. HFN glimmered up. He still has that Aegis. You take his first life, but what's the cost? Sacred just bought back, and he's going to die back in a second. They've got the Matthew Cold Embrace, saved up by Pandaboo, and a great Winter's Curse in onto Robo-Z, surrounded by all of these other dire heroes. Beautifully done by NoPing. Kunkka is dropping low. He's going to armor toggle, TP back home with X Mark, and now they can focus on the buildings. Abaddon, the last one here, sprouted under his own tier 4s. No borrowed time, and a rampage for HFN.
This Cold Embrace just heals for way too much on Dark Mago and HFN. Perfect Winter's Curse coming out from Pandaboo as well. Just killing off that Dragon Knight with one curse. This is looking crazy bad for Unknown. I mean, you could just call it here, I think, if you're Unknown.
Out of contention, basically.
Yep, let's check die back. All his items are gone. Luna, again, look at her build right now. She had 500 gold to this BKB, right? This is very sad to see, Gary. Yeah. Very, very sad to see.
Dire's middle tower has fallen.
It really is. You just can't stand there and fight. You're getting tagged by so many of these kind of spill AoE disables. Getting caught up in the arena, boats landing on you. And a catapult wave here in the mid lane.
Trying to delay things.
Let's see how that works out for them. I mean, the BKBs are refreshed on this Radiant team. They've got Pipe back up for Oscar. Malirax down means they don't necessarily need to commit. And Widge getting caught up again, but shield saved by the Abaddon. High ground vision is up there on that far right-hand side. So you do see a little bit. Oh, look at that Lucent Beam.
Lucent Beam.
Matthew just so good at forcing this. Like, he's stopping the shields and the heals from Abaddon with lifts and Lucent Beams. He's stealing shield to save his own teammates and stopping the Tiny from having these snap initiations, which they need. They desperately need these tossbacks, and they can't have them.
Yeah, that was very good from Matthew. Like, what he's doing is just clicking Lucent Beam as soon as he sees Tiny on his screen. So when the Tiny blinks in, the Lucent Beam will be in range
Luna.
to go on the Tiny right away. And there's no disable for him. He's out.
This is where HFN buys a Basher or something, yeah?
He's soon gonna have like Daedalus and just gonna be able to shred anyway. I don't think Unknown are gonna be able to get on the map anymore. Just gonna have to sit in base and hope that the next team fight will go in their favor with some kind of toss-back plays that Matthew doesn't instantly stop with a Lucent Beam into a lift.
Well, they do have BKB Luna, and they are smoking out of their base. This is their real last chance at a proper team fight on their terms, but there's Radiant High Ground Vision here and limited vision
need
for the
Panda
Dire
Blue.
team.
Oh,
they
they
need to
saw
catch
it.
that Wyvern. He's in
They
the
already saw the
trees.
ward.
Oh dear. They can't catch him, and Wyvern's going to blink with a 3-man curse onto the DK again. This was set up for an arena. Honestly, you could just probably call GG when that happened already, couldn't you? Luna going to get the BKB off, yeah, sure. Down to a third of her health, and in comes HFN with a static charge on him, bursting them with lightning, and Dark Mago, godlike, takes down that Witch. Tiny, GG is called. The final signal there. There's NoPing. They break Unknown in game 1.
Radiant
Yeah, I think Unknown, they showed some really good signs with their laning stage, what they did. Like, they won bottom and middle, convincingly, to be fair. But when they lost that mid tower with NoPing just bringing 5 heroes in without the catapult, I already knew Unknown were kind of lost as to what their next movements on this map is going to be. And that kind of threw Unknown off. And you saw their team